As a series, Grand Theft Auto has proudly poked the Western world about its obsessions and the things it finds offensive, offering its own slanted view of that world, a view that refuses to be dishonest. Politicians promise to nuke adversarial countries, a crowdfunding website equates its business model to panhandling, social media moguls brag about selling their users' private information, and the list goes on. Despite Grand Theft Auto's glamorization of virtual violence, which has never irked me, Rockstar's franchise has been able to maintain its likability with expansive, believable worlds and a band of interesting and redeemable characters. But Grand Theft Auto V has difficulty with its cast, as the latest in the notorious series features some of the most unbearable people I've ever had the misfortune of interacting with. But thankfully, interacting with the world itself is better than it's ever been. Grand Theft Auto V features multiple controllable protagonists, a first for the franchise. Michael is a family man retired from a life of crime. Trevor is a psychopath looking for the next big adrenaline hit, and Franklin is a streetwise hustler from the block, and each with them brings a slew of interesting characters along with their own motivation for success.
Everything hurts.
Grand Theft Auto V returns players to San Andreas, a fictional recreation of California, which includes satirized versions of many of its cities. Throughout the campaign, you could switch between each character, and sometimes you're required to swap leads on the same mission. In one scenario, Trevor hovers the helicopter in place as Michael rappels down a building, all while Franklin stands watch with a sniper rifle on an adjacent roof. Switching between the trio changes the objective, and keeps you on your toes and providing momentum. Multiple story missions follow this path, giving GTA's crime-focused gameplay a fresh coat of paint. And the core of GTA remains true in its latest iteration. You can run the streets of a fully realized world, steal cars, cause chaos, and attempt to flee from an extraordinarily irritable police force. Creating a mess of trouble and seeing how long you can last against the coming onslaught of police resistance is still thrilling.
Passport to Nirvana.
Fuck, give me that.
Yeah, here you hardly feel it.
When you tire of randomly wreaking havoc, the story is prodded along by accepting missions, and Grand Theft Auto V introduces a new type, heists. These are multi-tiered missions with big cash payouts, and after some recon, players are allowed to plan how they want to play it out. You'll also have to be careful about hiring your crew. A low-skilled gunman might not ask for much money, but he's also more likely to bungle his part of the job. With millions at stake, that's something you'll have to keep in mind.
If you say so, Trace.
Of course, it wouldn't be Grand Theft Auto without an expansive world to play in, and San Andreas is huge. You can play a round of tennis or golf. There are bars, shooting ranges, a seedy strip joint, and even an entire carnival to explore. You can go scuba diving for treasure, or maybe you'll decide to help an elderly couple collect celebrity memorabilia, culminating in a mission that helps you kidnap an actual movie star. It's all there for you to explore at your leisure, or entirely ignore. It's exactly the type of discovery you want from an open-world game. With so much to do, there's a danger of feeling bewildered, but Grand Theft Auto V is never overbearing. For one, you're no longer forced to perform peripheral tasks to curry the favor of other characters, one of the more annoying aspects of Grand Theft Auto 4. GTA 5's world exists to be played with the way you want. There's even an in-game stock market that you can manipulate to your advantage if you're crafty.
I am very honored to announce to you that you are Employee of the Month, huh? Anyway, congratulations.
Where Grand Theft Auto 5 loses its focus, ironically, is where players have the least amount of freedom, and that's its story. As the three characters grow closer, the narrative goes from an interesting tale of past mistakes, redemption, and revenge, to a story of three guys screaming at each other in a seemingly endless cycle. This centers mostly on Michael and Trevor's shared history. After a lengthy time apart, emotions between the two former colleagues come to a head, and GTA 5 pounds at this conflict for far too long.
Nut jobs.
Having three protagonists makes for a great gameplay mechanic, but this split focus causes peripheral characters to suffer. With each protagonist dealing with different characters throughout the story, you spend less and less time getting to know the people that make up the craziest parts of the world, which has always been one of GTA's more fascinating components.
What's happening now, D-man? Ain't no fun if the gangsters can't have none.
Man, fuck you, Mark. I ain't sharing no ass to CGF.
Ain't nobody sharing nothing.
Story complaints aside, it's the world of San Andreas that is the main attraction, and that does not disappoint. For every narrative quibble, there are dozens of discoveries to be made, and many of the best moments will be the ones that you create for yourself. Grand Theft Auto V is an ambitious game, attempting to meld three very different characters together in one encompassing story of survival in what amounts to the worst place in America. That story stumbles, but the open-ended gameplay remains a showpiece for the vast amount of content that can be poured into a virtual world. For more on Grand Theft Auto V, including the complete written review, check out Joystiq.com.